From Virginia State University, Chesterfield County Public Schools is proud to present the Matoaka High School commencement exercise for the class of 2017. This program is made possible through the cooperative efforts of Chesterfield County Public Schools and Virginia State University.
And guests. Today's ceremony is a formal ceremony in which we honor each student for attaining this educational milestone. As such, we ask that each of you respect the formality of the ceremony. Please silence all electronic devices and remain seated during the ceremony. We ask that you be respectful in applauding your graduate so that guests can each hear their student's name being called.
Please stand as the candidates of the 53rd graduating class of Matoaka High School enter the auditorium. After the graduates have entered, please remain standing for the presentation of colors, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it is both my honor and pleasure to present to you our distinguished guests, faculty, and most importantly, our honorees, the Matoaka High School class of 2017.
Please remain standing and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be immediately followed by the national anthem performed by the Matoka High School Upfront Girls Show Choir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Jakia Turner, our class vice president, will bring you greetings from the class of 2017. Jakia.
Good morning, family and friends, faculty and staff, and last but not least, my very own tribe, the class of 2017. I'd like to welcome you all to the Matoka High School graduation ceremony. It's been a bittersweet 4 years, but I know that my classmates can vouch for me when I say it has definitely been worth the wait. It seems so surreal that this day is finally here. We've rushed and rushed this moment to arrive, and now that it has finally approached us, I'm in awe. I am proud of our class as a whole for achieving many accomplishments despite the hardships we may have faced throughout the school year. But here we are, the time is now. I wish us all nothing but success in our future endeavors. And warriors, always remember it's impossible to dream too big. So after today, go out, chase your dreams, and don't stop until you've reached them. Thank you. Now would you please join me in welcoming our class president, Nicholas Scott.
Good afternoon to the class of 2017, friends and family. First, let me say that it has been my pleasure to serve as the senior class president for what I consider Matoka's best graduating class yet. Let's get it, come on. We should all feel honored to be the first class from Matoka to graduate at this beautiful facility at Virginia State University. As we step across the stage today, we begin to enter a new life, one filled with experiences, growing relationships, or even a new place to call home. However, I hope we all cherish the memories we have made as a Matoka warrior. Matoka has been promoted as one of the most diverse schools in the county. This is something to be proud of. Diversity is a distinction from others. Diversity allows for us students to learn from one another and experience new perspectives. This, in return, helps us become a more productive, collaborative class as a whole. As a whole body, the class of 2017 has accomplished many feats. This includes our wrestling and cheerleading teams making it all the way to states, to being named as a Blue Ribbon School because of our Performing Arts Department's superior rating in all categories this past year. That is seriously something to be very proud of. These, along with other achievements, have made our class one of the most defined, respected, and unified ever to graduate from Matoaca. So today, let's celebrate our accomplishments as we advance into a new chapter of our lives. I wish you all the best of luck in the career paths you pursue. Here's to the class of 2017. At this time, Raymond Hicks will come and introduce some very special guests. Raymond.
Today, we are honored to have with us some very special guests who have made a collective mission to promote, encourage, and support the educational goals of Chesterfield County Public Schools. They are Dr. James Lane, Superintendent of Chesterfield County Public Schools, Dr. Lyle Evans, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Chesterfield County Public Schools, Mrs. Donna Dalton, Chief Academic Officer of Chesterfield County Public Schools, Dr. Thomas Taylor, Executive Director of School Administration of Chesterfield County Public Schools, Mr. Steve Elswick, Board of Supervisors, Matoaca District, Mr. Robert Thompson, School Board Member, Matoaca District, and Mrs. Diane Smith, School Board Member, Clover Hill District. Thank you so much for your presence with us today. We look forward to hearing from you today. Immediately following greetings from our special guests, we will hear from our salutatorian, Sarah Patton. Dr. Lane.
Congratulations, class of 2017. Today is your day, and we could not be more proud of you. Your hard work and the efforts of your amazing teachers, sports staff, school administrators, school board, county leaders have led us to this point, your successful completion of high school and the beginning of your future. But the class of 2017 is unique, and I'm going to show you how. Could the prospective graduates who are already 18 years old please raise your hands? Congratulations, you are the last high school graduates born in the 1900s. Now, could we have our graduates that are 17 years or younger please raise your hands? Congratulations to you. You are the first high school graduates born in the 2000s. Regardless of the year you were born, I want you to think a second about all the changes that we've seen. Now, this may be hard to believe, but YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram did not exist when you were born. It may shock you to learn that in 1999, a gallon of gas was $1.14. Oh, and back then our cars didn't have TV screens, we didn't have GPS, we didn't even have Google Maps that we could print out. We literally had to buy maps and gas stations or just get lost until we found it, or call somebody at a phone and they had to be there and we would ask them. iPods didn't exist, iPads, iPhones, none of that. We didn't even have Wi-Fi. We certainly didn't have a PlayStation 4. I don't think we had a PlayStation 1. Now, some of you seated in front of me may be thinking, how in the world did you live back then? Well, I will tell you, no, we didn't get on Netflix and binge watch until 3 in the morning. We went to Blockbuster. We had to rewind our tapes when we were done watching them. We had to turn them on time or we paid a late fee. We weren't able to take our classroom notes on a Chromebook. We still had the good old overhead projector and paper and pencil. Never failed you. We didn't save our photos in the cloud. No, we sometimes had them on a floppy disk, but most of the time we had to sit with Grandma and flip through the book where the pages stuck together to see our photos. Now, the lucky kids in the neighborhood, maybe a little bit earlier, had Ataris and Nintendos. But for most of us, the only video game we ever played was in school, and it was called Oregon Trail. And it was awesome. Now, as we've gone down this walk down memory lane, I've asked you to think about all the ways that our world has changed. But I want to stop a minute, I want to flip that, and I want you to look at it a different way. Let's think about all the amazing things that have been created, enhanced, or improved since you were born. See, the world has changed dramatically. At every turn, there was a person sitting in your chair that became that change. Someone with the ability to create, think critically, communicate well, collaborate. They saw possibilities. They didn't see boundaries. Today, you stand on the edge of the map of your known world. In a few minutes, you'll walk across this stage, your final steps as a high school student, and you will step into unknown territory. See, unknown territory is exciting because it can capture your imagination and invite exploration. No matter how small our globe seems today, the way we're all tied together with technology and instant communication, there is always new territory for us to explore. You are ready for that step into the unknown. Even if you don't know where you're going next, you are prepared. Even if you feel a bit nervous about what the future might hold, you are ready. Our schools and the phenomenal staff at Matoaka High School have prepared you. They have taught you well. You have learned much. As you step forward, moving away from all of us into unknown territory, I want you to keep just 3 goals in mind. First, stay positive and remain interested in new things. All around you, there is much to learn and experience. Be enthusiastic about that. People like to be around optimistic people. Second, make connections with other people and with people all through our globe. Reach out to be part of something bigger than yourself. Finally, and most importantly, be yourself. But strive to be your best self. Don't be satisfied with adequate or just okay. Aim for excellence in all you do. So I have one final quote before I leave you today as you think about entering that unknown territory. Excellence can be obtained if you care more than others think is wise, risk more than others think is safe, dream more than others think is practical, and expect more than others think is possible. Class of 2017, congratulations and best wishes as you take the next step into your world. Be that change. Before I leave the stage, it is a tradition at our graduations that I make a special presentation. Mr. Thompson from the school board is going to join me. Each year, a private, anonymous donor provides funding for 2 scholarships to be presented as the Superintendent Scholarship Awards to be done at each of our 11 graduations. Each principal sends me the name of 2 students who not only display excellence in the classroom, but through their daily interactions embody the core values and are seen to have fulfilled the qualities of service and compassion to others. Each recipient will receive a superintendent's medallion that they will wear today, which will be placed on them by Mr. Thompson. And additionally, the students don't know who they are, so this is a surprise. They also receive a $1,000 scholarship check today. So as I call each of these 2 students' names, please come forward, and I'm going to read their accomplishments while they walk forward. Our first award winner is Deja Tyler. A solid student, Deja has been seen as a student who has a penchant for service to others. She has been engaged in numerous efforts that has helped support the school division, like her work the past 2 years volunteering with students at Matoaka Elementary. She has also been committed to assisting in the community, as seen through her work where she volunteers with her church and a local catering company to provide box lunches and hot meals to the less fortunate. As she moves on to a larger community, Deja wants to continue to serve others by becoming a pediatrician. Congratulations, Deja. All right, our next award winner is Emily Lushbach. Emily has displayed resilience through life circumstances, and through this has gained a hunger to learn, desire to succeed, and a passion to give back to others. Emily has been deeply involved in service to her school and community through active work with the MHS Mentors Program and by being a success peer facilitator. Emily also has excelled in other aspects of school through the performing arts, where she has participated in plays and musical performances. A dedicated volunteer, she she also do great things in the future, serving the community beyond Matoaca. Let's give Emily and all of our 2 award winners a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, and congratulations, graduates.
Well, parents and graduates, it's an honor to celebrate with you this afternoon. And graduates, this is your mother's best day. You cannot comprehend the joy and the pride in her heart when you walked across this floor. Nor can you comprehend the sacrifices, the worry, the pain, and the prayers that she's been through getting you to this point. I can remember my dad telling my mom, Helen, if we can only get that boy through high school. But she never gave up on me, and your mother will never give up on you. So let's give them a round of applause. 10 days ago, I was at Powhatan High School, not for a graduation, but for the funeral of Virginia State Police Special Agent Michael Walters, who was shot just 17 days ago. And as I listened to the speakers, my mind was immediately drawn to you and this graduation. I left that ceremony with a very heavy heart. When Special Agent Michael Walters walked across the stage to graduate from Pittsgrove High School in 1989, he did not know that he had 17 years to live. When he got out of the Marine Corps in 1994, he did not know that he was down to 23. And when he graduated from the 98th Virginia State Police Basic Recruit Academy, he did not know that in 18 years and 8 days that he would lose his life serving and protecting you and I. And just like Special Agent Michael Walters, when you walk across this stage, society is going to see you in a different vein. You are instantly expected to behave and act like a mature adult. And you're also expected to obey society's laws, and you will not have the choice of picking out the ones that you obey. As I listened intensely to the speakers during his funeral, I was touched about how much he gave and the impact he had on the lives of others. So graduates, this is what you can learn from the life of Special Agent Michael Walters. You do not have time to take a year off to find yourself. There are no pause buttons on life. This is the real deal. There are very few second chances. And Agent Walters would tell you not to believe in the myth that you can be anything in this world that you want to be. That's just not true. He would tell you that you need to look at your talents, your abilities, your personality, your gifts, your heart, and your experiences, along with the way you're wired to determine what you should be. Agent Walters knew that it was not your job to be the best in the world at what you do. He knew that it was your job to be the best you can be given the talents and abilities that God gave you. He would tell you that roughly 70% of the people in the long line of work, that they go to work every day hating to do so. This causes a little word called stress. He would tell you that if you're not having fun at work, to change jobs. Agent Walter found his calling early, and that calling was simply to serve others. First as a United States Marine, then in law enforcement. But his real passion and his real calling was helping down and troubled youth. He founded a nonprofit so these youth would have a safe place to go to find self-worth. He helped them develop mental strength. He taught them that quitting is not an option and that there's nothing more important in this life than helping other people. It was said that he would often neglect his own needs to fulfill the needs of others. He used sports, fitness, and sportsmanship to motivate and turn these kids around. And he never turned anyone away. Regardless of their abilities and challenges, he accepted them all. And kids with medical issues would even come to him. He required everyone that came to him to set goals and not to be afraid of failure. He taught these young people that failure is not failing to reach a goal, failure is failure to have a goal. He taught them that failure is not reaching a target, failure is not having a target. One parent said that he told her, "You give me your son for 3 years and I'll give you a different child." She said truer words had never been spoken. Special Agent Walters wasn't a famous athlete. He wasn't a celebrity or a sports star. And God knows he wasn't rich being a state trooper. He was an ordinary person with an extraordinary amount of determination. He was an ordinary person that simply would not quit. After all, that's what great people are, just ordinary people that just won't give up. As the service was ending, I witnessed his wife attempting to hold the hands of her small children. And again, my thoughts turn to you, knowing that this time in America, and as you're stepping into adulthood, we really need young adults that have compassion, that have dignity, integrity, character, confidence, and competence. As I sat there and listened to that, I wondered how many of you will step up to fill those shoes. How many of you will get involved in your community? You cannot turn away from society's challenges and issues, and we simply cannot afford to have one less hero in this world. You have to step up to fill that void. The police officer that was with Agent Walters that night said, and I quote, literally his last thing he did on earth was an unselfish act. The saddest part of this story is that Agent Walters did not have to die. The system let him down, and now it's up to you and all of us in this room to fix it. And one last thing, graduates, I have 3 words for you now that you are an adult. Call your mother. It makes no difference how important you think you are, how famous you become, or how busy you become. You're never too important, too famous, or busy to talk to your mother. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the school board representative for the district you've just escaped. Seriously, though, congratulations to all of you. You've made it out. You don't know what you've made it to yet, but let me tell you, that's okay. You don't need to know exactly what's ahead of you. Some of you are off to college, some of you are going into the workforce, and a select few of you will be joining the armed forces. Can I have the following Academy, ROTC selections, and recruits please stand? The U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force. Come on, I know you're out there, I've already looked. The Marines, the Coast Guard, and of course, all the guys and gals who passed all of the entrance examinations and got in the U.S. Navy. All jokes aside, everyone has their service pride. You have made a commitment to protect the freedoms that sometimes we take for granted being Americans. Thank you for your willingness to serve your country. When I joined the Navy, I didn't know all the places that it would take me and how much it would affect my life. Just as when you started high school 4 years ago, you didn't know about all the curveballs and the rough patches that you'd have to deal with. You're here. You made it. In fact, your generation is the most prepared to deal with what the future holds than any others before it. You have endless information at your fingertips. You can communicate with anyone, anytime, anywhere, and you have your entire lives ahead of you. Because of the resources available to you, some people will try to look down on you and tell you that you can't do certain things. that that's not the way the world works. But you guys are the ones that are going to make the world work that way, however you see it. I want you to keep your eyes open to your own possibilities. Don't let other people shut you down, and it's not going to be easy. Don't ever let anyone tell you that it's easy. The path ahead of you is going to be hard, but only because it will be a new path. It will be your path. It won't be given to you. You're going to have to reach out and grab it every day and keep reaching beyond that. You and your fellow warriors are never going to have to ask permission to find that new cure. You're not going to have to ask permission to put an end to hunger and poverty. You're going to leave this ceremony, head out into the world, and you're going to make it what you want it to be. Years from now, you'll look around at everything you've accomplished and be surprised that you made it that way. You don't know what it'll be, but that's okay. It'll be yours, whatever you end up choosing to make it. And looking at all of you out there, I'm sure it's going to be extraordinary. I'll end with a quote from American comedian Ellen DeGeneres that I like. Follow your passion. Stay true to yourself. Never follow anyone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost. And then you see a path, and by all means, follow that one. Have fun today, tonight, and remember to be safe. Thank you, and remember that you all will be warriors. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'll make this quick since I know we're just all trying to graduate. My name is Sarah Patton, and although I don't know everyone in the class of 2017, we've been through a lot together. In 9th grade, we made it through the fire during the AP physics exam. In 10th grade, we learned how to drive. We also learned that the speed limit on Woodpecker is just a suggestion. In 11th grade, we made the transition to a new principal. It's been great knowing you, Dr. Merriman. And also, shout out to my boy, Mr. Cunningham. And in 12th grade, we made the transition to a new class president. I was pretty bitter for a solid 2 days, but in the words of Amaya Mason, I am fine, everything is fine. I'd like to use my experience of losing the class presidency as an example to teach all of you guys some things about life. The first lesson, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, sit down, be humble. Now listen, Connor Thomas and Nick Hagan, you two are really gonna need this lesson. There's nothing more humbling than losing, but there's also nothing more motivating. Humility allows room to grow, to learn, and to set better goals. The second lesson I learned that was in the grand scheme of life, some things matter more than others. 10 years from now, you're not gonna remember who your salutatorian was, but you will remember the friends you made, the relationships you had, and the things that made you happy. The third lesson I'd like to knock out is that we should embrace change. The harsh reality was that I would not have made a good class president, and that's because I couldn't dedicate the time, nor do I have the creativity that my boy Nick Scott does. He got his Chick-fil-A, and I asked nothing more from a class president. Don't shy away from change, especially because we're all facing a huge change right now, whether you're going to college, the workforce, or the military. Lastly, I'd like to make a couple shout outs to the real MVPs, all the parents out there, especially my mom and dad. I see you guys. I'd like to take a moment to thank Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Drum, Mr. Hare, Bradshaw, and Anderson for giving me guidance and support through these 4 years. I'd also like to thank Mr. Ryan, who couldn't be here today because he's serving in the US military, but he sends all of you his congratulations and love. Also, thank you to Officer Burrell for never questioning me when I wasn't in class. I only skipped once, I swear. Finally, to the class of 2017, thank you. And since I'll no longer be doing your afternoon announcements, I hope you all have a fabulous day. After Leslie Ritchie introduces the musical presentation, we'll hear from the real MVP, Kevin Shaw.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce Gracie Cavey, Haley Avaro, Caitlin Lindsay, and members of Matoka High School's Fine Arts Department in this special musical selection, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Then we'll hear from our valedictorian, Kevin Shaw.
Good afternoon, class of 2017. My name is Kevin Shaw, and it is an honor to be up here in front of you all giving the valedictory address. However, just because I am standing on the stage, by no means am I better than any one of you all. I'm just better at spark notes than all of you all. Today is a significant moment in all of our lives. For many, today marks the very beginnings of the next 20 years of crippling college debt. For others, today marks the next step in entering the real world, whether it be in the workforce or the military. Hopefully, either way, you all began with the end in mind. Now, certainly since our high school careers began, we have learned some valuable lessons. We learned about negative numbers, so now I fully understand what's happening with my bank account. We learned in recent months that food is meant to be eaten, not thrown in the cafeteria. Someone set a poor, innocent trash can on fire, so we learned to be careful with an open flame. We learned that we can survive even if our entire food pyramid consists of only cookout. And lastly, we learned that High School Musical prepared us in no way for actual high school. Since our senior year is over, senioritis must be as well. It has been quite the struggle for all of us. Unfortunately, giving us 4 weeks to do a project became a challenge to see if we could possibly do it the night before. We tested every last boundary of the attendance policy and looked for endless loopholes instead of just showing up to class. And I'm sure it was a painful conversation these last few days, having to walk up to your teacher and see if they could just round that 37 to a 95. In fact, I think I saw a couple of you guys turning in assignments backstage before we... Class of 2017, we have been through a lot together over the years, and we certainly have memories that we will cherish forever. Whether it was crowd surfing at prom, crowd surfing at homecoming, getting yelled at for crowd surfing, or playing a football game against some school on Route 10, Dale who? In the end, we grew together as a very diverse, proud Matoaka family. Many of you all, I am sure, expected the status quo of a very serious valedictorian address, but serious is not my nature. It is not who I am. In this age where you're expected to fit the mold of what's accepted, I challenge you all to push that mold to its boundaries and stay true to yourselves, as you guys have heard echoed several times today. You'd be amazed at how far that can truly take you. Class of 2017, let's show the world what warriors are truly made of. Thank you. Now we will hear from our class treasurer, Shakir Jan Muhammad. Shakir.
Before I announce the gift, has anyone seen my mom and dad? Hopefully I'll still be able to walk. Throughout 4 years of high school, we have united with each other in one spirit, the pride of a Matoaka warrior. Dr. Merriman, will you please join me on stage for this? At the podium. These last 4 years have allowed us to define ourselves and discover our identity through our clubs and organizations. To celebrate the diversity of warrior pride, the senior class is donating flags to help direct students around the school. Flags will also be donated to several organizations at Matoaka, so they may express their purpose to the whole of the student body, allowing each student to explore his or her talents and interests for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Shakir, thank you to the senior class officers and also to the class of 2017 for the generous gift you have left to those who will follow in your footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lane, Mrs. Dalton, Dr. Evans, Dr. Taylor, Mr. Thompson, Ms. Smith, Mr. Ellswick, parents, guests, and most importantly, the candidates for graduation. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Belinda Merriman and I have the honor of serving as the principal of Matoaka High School. And before we begin handing out those diplomas that you've waited for, I would like to take a moment to recognize 3 special people. These 3 staff members are retiring this year, and I know we will certainly feel their absence. Ms. Erin Drum, a biology teacher, is retiring after many years of military service. And 10 years of working with our Matoaka Warriors. Ms. Katie Marshall, a math teacher, has spent 16 years at Matoaka High School with a total of 30 years in education. And Mr. Pat Manuel has spent 32 years working in education as football coach. He's hiding in the back corner. He's been with us as a football coach, health and PE teacher, and 23 years with us as a warrior. So thank you to all of you. Each of you have left their mark on you, the graduates, and on Matoaka High School. We wish them well as they begin their retirement. Please join me once again in a round of applause to honor our retiring educators. Thank you. Matoaka High School class of 2017. Take a good look around and enjoy this moment. It is the last time that you will be together as the class of 2017, and I have a few things to share with you before we go. We all know that you've had some good days, some hard days, some sad days, some special days, and certainly some exciting days. But during each of those days, you had family, friends, teachers, and others to support you. As you move into the next chapter of your life, remember that those people are still here for you. You will want to do things on your own, and you should do things on your own, because no one wants to do your laundry forever. But also be willing to ask for help. There are always people in your corner who will step in when you need it. Also, be willing to tune out sometimes, and that can mean a couple of things. For one, and this might seem strange to you guys, but take a moment and put down your phones. Enjoy moments of solitude and reflection. In these days of information overload, I promise that your brain and spirit will thank you. Also, tune out negativity. Mistakes happen. Reflect and learn from them, but then move on and focus on the positives. Do not listen when people tell you you can't, you shouldn't, you aren't good enough. Don't believe them. Listen enough to learn a bit, but then keep on going. Do what you know is best. Take risks, love life, and change the world. We all know you can, for you are warriors. At this point, Dr. Lane, Dr. Evans, Mrs. Dalton, Dr. Taylor, Mr. Ellswick, Mr. Thompson, fellow administrators, members of the faculty, parents, family members, and special guests, I certify that the members of the senior class seated before me have met the requirements set forth by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the County of Chesterfield for the diplomas and certificates that they are about to receive. We will begin by recognizing our top 15 seniors. So marshals, please take your positions.
Valedictorian of the class, Kevin Linwood Shaw. Salutatorian of the class, Sarah Elizabeth Patton. Third in class, Christina Hope Dorham. Fourth in class, Harrison Collins Keene. Fifth in class, Arian Shimoni Allman. Sixth in class, Nicholas Brody Haygood. Seventh in class, Colin Walter Purcell. Eighth in class, Caitlin Elizabeth Connor. Ninth in class, Nicholas Cameron Scott. 10th in class, Ariana Joy Peterkin. 11th in class, Taylor Nicole Parlow. 12th in class, Rachel Elizabeth Colello. 13th in class, Leslie Marie Ritchie. 14th in class, Mackenzie Francis McMinn. 15th in class, Dennis Floyd Harrop IV. Caleb Alexander Douglas Ackman. Malik McKinley Adams. Tatiana Alicia Alexander. Anaya DeAndre Allen. Autumn Renee Alston. Terrell Dominique Anderson. Jessie Marie Armstrong. Jared Ashton Artis. Tristan Taylor Avery. Ramon Bailey. Sydney Miles Bailey. Logan Diane Thorne Ballard. Lamont Bruce Barnes. Alexander Joshua Barton. Brittany Monet Baskerville. Micah Riley Bockham. Clark Gregory Beach. Ethan Samuel Beach. David Alexander Bedard. Devin Lynn Bell. Christopher Leon Berger. Emmanuel Darnell Bethune Jr. Kayla Danielle Bigger. Shaylee A. Blackham. Isabella Hope Blanton. Tierra Lavon Blevins. Nina Marie Bonella. Caitlin Joy Booth. Sarah Amanda Bosher. John Evans Bowles. Douglas MacArthur Boyd Jr. Samuel Comier Sahan Braswell IV. Ariana Nautica Briggs. Terrence Rashad Brooks. Donovan Elijah Brown. Kiera Nicole Brown. Calvin Devon Brown Jr. Marquise Khalil Brown. Matthew Lee Brown. Xavier Tremaine Brown. Michaela Jade Brunson. Uni Alexis Briner. Donald Way Buchan. Danette Denise Vernon. Christopher Sean Burke. Trevor Patrick Butts. Cindy Dayane Ciceres. Marina Nicole Comancho. Ryan Christopher Kennedy. Danielle Nicole Carter. Destiny Jade Carroll. James Darnell Carter Jr. Nathaniel Charles Carter. Tyreek Jamal Carter. Taylor Laura Cotrette. Mary Grace Cavey. Cody Hunter Chaplin. Corey Dante Charity. Megan Elizabeth Chenoweth. Brandis Coriana Cherry Richardson. Praneek Trinae Christian. Sierra Brooke Christopher. Charles Thomas Clark III. Logan Blakely Clark. Megan Elizabeth Clements. Christian August Clemens. Alexa Lynn Coates. Russell Allen Cohen III. Kiani Monet Cole. Jessica Marie Coleman. Richard Wayne Coleman. Zoe Lowe Coleman. Samuel Austin Collins. Marcus Mortel Comer. Allison Lenore Connolly. Aaliyah Nicole Cooper. Katie Stilette Cousins. Nicholas Major Cox. Tony Matthew Craig. Lauren Ann Crampton. Jalen Sierra Crawley. William McKinley Creekmore. Irina Marguerite Croston. Tyra Christine Comer. Zachary Alexander Cunningham. Jerry Lewis Danette Jr. William Harrison Darby. Jalen Lee Davis. Alexis Marie Dean. Austin Brandon Dean. Edwin Dodani Diaz Argueta. Melvin Lee Dixon Jr. Andre Antoine Durazio. Alicia Renee Dowdy. Cornell Andres Downs. Jordan Kavion Albert Dreyer. Cade Lewis Driscoll. Devon Frederick Dubois. Savannah Hope Duncan. Alicia Kiera Dunning. Jeffrey Brian Dupuis. Brittany Gail Eggleston. Kaylee Wright Elder. Jakayla Tyriana Ellis. Samuel Asa Leonardo Emery. Matthew Thomas Ingy. Shania Christian Angel Epps. Christopher Allen Evans. Jessica Nicole Evans, Annabelle Haley Ivaria, Colin Lane Everhart, David Holt Ezel, Liam Wyatt Fahey, Garrett Allen Farmer, Alexis Nicole Farr, Justin Tyler Fields, McKenna Lee Finley, Bernard Alexander Flowers Jr., Jacob Allen Floyd, Avery Allen Fote, Justin Andrew Ford, Kaylin Nicole Francis Powell, Dominique Amara Frederick, Naya Nicole Freeman, Andrew Michael Free, Jerry Lee Fuqua, David Jacob Garcia, Matthew John Garcia, Juan Grady Gaskins Jr., Larry Donnell Gibson Jr., Deontay Tremaine Gillis, Antonio Quazell Gillison, Courtney Justice Gerard, Brandon Lawrence Godsey, Leander Thomas Gonzalez, Cameron DeAndre Good, Niara Rahima Gray, Jackson Shaw Green, Haley Gabrielle Griffith, Nicholas Daniel Grohowski, Ryan Thomas Collins Grubb, Austin Patrick Gruel, Jasmine Renee Ginyard, Brandon Travis Gunn, Elijah Isaiah Wynn, Alexander John Hagans, Alexandra Love Hagans, Comid Yvonne Hall, Keely Jocelyn Hall, Thomas Taryn Hall, Eric Draven Forrest Hammer, Owen Lamont Hardy, Cordarius Jaquan Hargrove, William Finley Harless, Victoria Diane Harper, Jordan Trey Harris, Melissa Tanae Harris, Montre Shamar Harris, Rayshawn Isaiah Harris, Taylor Michelle Harris, Tyquan Lamont Harris. Zion Mackay Harris. Hepzibah Nadine Hart. Hannah Daphne Hathaway. Matthew Mateo Hawkins. Jadia Jayshawn Hayes. Elijah Lane Haynes. Caitlin Nicole Heath. Alexander Paul Henderson. Nathaniel David Hendrick. Stephen George Henry Jr. Raymond Lee Hicks. Kristen Danielle Higgins. Alexa Dawn Hearn. Thomas Philip Hoffman Jr. Jimmy Ray Hollins Jr. Chase Clayton Hooker. Amani Tanae Hoskins. Amir Tyree Hoskin. Angel Nicole House. Tremaine Lamont Howard Jr. Zaria Antoinette Hughes. Ethan Gordon Humphreys. Terrence Christopher Hunter Whitfield. Devin Imani Irby. Zion Akinya Irvin. Robert Clinton Irving. Jazil Jedida Jackson. Shakir Ali Jan Mohammed. Thomas Baxter Jeffrey. Jesus Santiago Jimenez. Jordan Tiffany Johnson. Caitlin Marie Johnson. Nicholas Scott Johnson. Tejana Shantae Johnson. Hope Ann Johnston. Nicholas O'Brien Jones II. Travis Kasul Lay. Cheyenne Jordan Keller. Maxwell Thomas Keller. Victoria Rakeisha Kendrick. Bobay Kim. Jacob Kale Kinsler. Maya Allison Kraft. Kyle Joseph Lambiot. Cullen Lamb Hoover. Sean Lee Lanier. Brian Cole LaPrade. Joshua David LaPrade. Kevin Maurice Lee, Jr. Grayson May Leedy. Deja Nicole Lewis. Caitlin Chandler Lindsay. Matthew Wayne Lockhart. Mark Naboru Lofton. Tiana Miho Lofton. Anthony Brevin Lorenzo. Christopher Jason Lowe, Jr. Kayla Shirley Renee Lowe. Miranda Gabrielle Lupo. Emily Lynn Lushbaugh. Angela Elizabeth Lyons. Maya Elise Lyons. Seth Emmanuel Lyons. Wadeja Latrell Mabry. Wadeja Latrell Mabry. Rebecca Danielle Mann. Jacqueline Marlon Marquise. Austin Robert Martin. Amaya Lee Mason. Susanna Kate Mason. Tatiana Rochelle Mason. Trayshawn Antonio Mason Lee. Andrew Justin Matthew. Alexis Michelle May. Badadra Ann McCullough. Kayla Danielle McCallum. Killian Joseph McCarthy. Clifford Deshamar McDonald V. Morgan Mary McMinn. Timothy Wayne Meadows Jr. Marquise Isaiah Meredith. Tawan Tyquell Meredith. Shamari Sosa Middleton. Sydney Marie Miller. Logan Alana Mills. Dalton James Moeller. Mark Joseph Money. Anthony James Morales. Keyshawn Jeremiah Morgan. Henley Marie Mosley. Justice Nicole Sky Mueller. Saria Rakaya Muhammad. Avery Lee Munden. Tori Nicole Myrick. Lauren Deanne Neal. Nicholas Ryan Nethery. Andrew Luke Neff. Jasmine Gonzalez Negrete. Alyssa Brianna Nudick. Alexis Simone Newberry. Colton Allen Newhouse. Cabrin Cortez Nicholas Bonner. Jonelle Maurice Nixon. Kayla Marie Nicewanger. Linda Chitabim Adana Njoku. Marissa Brianna Noriega. Kamitria Kabiba Rose Normand. Harry Henson Oakley III. Shola Ogulana. Megan McCoy Olson. Shelby Marie Osman. Jacob Ethan Overgard. Imani Cherie Owens. Watson Powell Pace. Ty River Panel. Tehran Have Parham. China Ronay Parham Bland. Kristen Iman Parker. David Shepard Pate. Avi Sandpit Patel. Kaylee Brooke Peck. Alexis Mercedes Pedrick. Tavia Jamila Pete. Benjamin Lanier Pegram. Xavier Jamal Penley. Padrell Lachey Perry. Kayla Joelle Person. Autumn Joy Peterkin. Shanice Nicole Pierce. Lene Regine Powell. Jeffrey Manuel Pride. Brennan Cole Proctor. Travis Michael Pruitt. Christopher Nicholas Lawrence Pfeiffer. Jordan Tyree Piggott. Shauna Ray Pullout. Soleil Jamil Piper. Mariah Ann Poston. Lauren Danielle Powell. E. Marie Hope Destiny Pryor. Cheyenne Elizabeth Pullen. Brennan Austin Purcell. Anna Grace Ramsey. Kayla Blair Rayner. Ashton Clay Rivas. Morgan Iva Redding. Malik Rashad Richardson. Tasia Amir Richardson. Zachary Paul Rideout. Vernon Tyrone Roach Jr. Caitlin Nicole Roberts. Joshua Ryan Robinson. Brandon Michael Rohrbach. Austin Jeffrey Rose. Tatiana Ashe Rose. Faith Raheen Rowan. Tyreek Devonjay Ruffin. Brian Allen Sanchez. Karen Alondra Santiano Vargas. Brooke Leanne Sapp. Richard Hagan Shuring. Robert Anthony Sellers. Corey Madison Sheffield. Joseph Nelson Short. Shauna Karen Shovar. Tiffany Lee Sifford. Matthew Quinn Tipton. Brandon Daniel Simmons Jr. LeVar Noel Simons. Rachel Lily Simmons. Karan Giovanni Anil Skeet. Sierra Brooke Smiley. Allison Chase Smith. Antoinette Jamaica Smith. Sierra Nicole Smith. Jada Michelle Smith. Jack Edward Spencer. Quinn Stearns. Marshall Colin Stewart. Trayvon Malik Stewart. Heaven Lee Stone. Rashad Markel Stowe. Tia Marie Stremsky. Khadija Olabuni Suara. Andrew Bolin Sullins. Thomas Jordan Sumter. Kayla Latrice Surley. Michaela Surley Bickham. Austin Eugene Sutherland. Dwayne Lamont Taylor Jr. Connor Reed Thomas. Emily Jane Thomas. Caitlin Marie Thompson. Hayden Jane Thornbrew, Zachary Ray Toller, Kara Ashley Torrance, Rachel Elizabeth Trainer, Ryan Hunter Traylor, Jerkia Lynette Turner, Deja Monet Tyler, Stephen Austin Varner, Nicholas Ian Vetter, Benjamin Alexander Vittel, Amanda Marie Villa, Tyler Peyton Voorhees, Jesse David Wade, Hollywood Michael Walker, Marco Antonio Walker Jr., Nicholas Reeve Walker, Anthony Joshua Walters, David Joseph Ward Jr., William Joe Ware, Mackenzie Nicole Watson, Lindsay Elizabeth Weathers, Jack Lucas Welliner, Jordan Thomas Wellens, Yvonne Lee Widman, DeAndre Davon Wilkes, Calvin Lee Williams III, Laquan Maurice Williams, Lindsay Miranda Williams, Tamara Monique Williams, Abigail Elaine Willis, Malik Renee Wimberly, Morgan Elizabeth Wimbrow, Justin Robert Winfield, Ryan Ramir Wingfield, Savion Daquan Winston, Elizabeth Rayanne Wise, James Stanford Womack Jr., Victoria Lynn Wood, Brandon Michael Woody, Romy David Worsley Jr., David Scott Wren Jr., Shalea Kiesia Yates, Alexander Michael Young, Dade Nathaniel Zodork.
Would the class of 2017 please stand? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Education of the Commonwealth of Virginia and the County of Chesterfield, I now pronounce you graduates of Matoaka High School. You may now move your tassels. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Matoaka High School, I wish each of you the happiness of a productive life, the respect of your fellow human beings, and the love of your family. Be careful and strive for success. Graduates, please remain standing. We ask guests to please stand as our stage guests, faculty in the class of 2017 will exit the arena.
guitar stand with you and put it on the rack. Percussionist, help move the percussion equipment. The faster we get loaded, we might be able to beat the traffic. So move.